Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see everyone here. Today we're going to talk about what does happiness mean to you. Now, a topic is a guideline. Let's see where it takes us. How does happiness show up for everyone? Sometimes happiness shows up just from helping. Just from helping. I was just playing pickleball with Jillian. A little messy today. Anyway, we have friends in LA, a family who lost their home that the children were born in and grew up in and are married, and they're looking at different ways to help people. They're putting out information on the internet saying, if you need help, support, guidance, what can we do for you, different people. Happiness is found not necessarily always in the soil that you would think that it might be. Happiness isn't forced. Although sometimes pushing yourself to get up and do something can open the path to happiness, as you may have discovered. For others, the presence of that natural balance seed within them to help others comes from the happiness that they are. We are happiness, okay? I want to share with you something that came in one of our chat groups, a non-duality chat group. And one of the people offered this. It's from, I have to read the name. It's from an Arab Muslim saint named Rabia al-Adawiya. In regards to, although our nature is true joy, how many of us can relate to this? And please input if you can relate to this story, because it really touched me. Show me where it hurts, God said. And every cell in my body burst into tears before God's tender eyes. I'll read it again. Show me where it hurts, God said, and every cell in my body burst into tears before God's tender eyes. Can you relate to this? Let me know. Punch something into the chat, a statement or yes or something. Let me know how many of you can identify with this. Really, if you felt it before you think about identifying or understanding with it, you already have. You already have. Happiness. Freedom. Love. God, infinite being. These are all one and the same. We give them different names to just allow us to explore them under the illusion that there's something different. Maria Louisa wrote, I'm in tears. Thank you, I know that feeling. I'm going to move this a little closer for me. What more can I say? You ignore the obvious pain I am in. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, Phyllis says, 6 years ago I felt like that, but now I'm healing. We're always healing. We're always healing. Indulging in the pain is actually, in a sense, a putting off of the healing. I've known some people, for the seemingly right reasons, who have lived their lives of generations and generations and generations of pain over the same story. That's sort of a refusal to heal, because healing at this level is a choice. It's choosing happiness. It's choosing freedom. Can you connect those words? Can you recognize that they're one and the same? This is part of the reason that in Reconnective healing, it's taught through the concept of freedom. Recognition of our inner self, our infinite self, our being. One person writes, being in the flow. To be in the flow, and being is the flow. So what does that have to do with healing? Susan, I understand constant physical pain can be very debilitating. It, however, does not cause soul issues, for example. That becomes a choice. No one gets through life without pain. Suffering, however, is a choice. No one makes it out of this life without experiencing pain. It's not an option. Suffering, our interpretation of it, how we choose to live with it, prioritize it, let it dominate what's going on, there is the choice. Renee Sugar says, between no longer and not yet, letting go moment by moment, not being confined or limited to anything, being a certain way, open to what is beyond the present or the present pain, the present whatever. Now, why is this very important in healing? Whether it's self-healing, whether it's facilitating healings for others, one very important aspect of freedom is giving ourselves the freedom to not, well, as Renee says it, not being confined or limited to anything, being a certain way, giving ourselves the freedom to be open to the healing, taking whatever form it takes. What does that mean? Well, it may mean recognizing certain things in ways we haven't recognized before. It may mean being open to concepts, to understandings, to recognize that many of the things we may do, whether looking for our own healing or facilitating a healing for someone else, becomes the inhibitor, becomes the limitation. It closes off freedom. Okay, you ready for this? Intention in how something should turn out. Intention of how something should turn out in our lives. Intention of the result of the healing. These take away the openness and the freedom to finding the flow, and therefore they limit what's going on, whether it's our healing, whether it's someone else's. The best we can hope for with intention is whatever the limited human conscious educated mind is able to conceive of. And the best we can hope for in that is maybe getting closer and closer to that. So it sounds wonderful, but we're focusing on what we think we want instead of what we really want. What we really want, we don't really know until it arrives for us. Freedom is allowing the flow. It's in the knowingness that somehow or other, life has gotten this far without us telling it what it should be doing and how it should be doing it. Healing as well. There are many surprises that come about all the time. Some we might think we don't want. All is actually something that we benefit from. They don't all always show up in the most pleasant ways. And yet, part of our healing is learning to allow the infinite intelligence to be what's guiding and directing the healing. Now, allow is a funny word because it's going to happen anyway. We can't restrain infinite intelligence, but we can limit what we allow ourselves to receive by attempting to control the outcome. Okay? We can limit what we really would love to receive by attempting to control the outcome, by knowing or thinking we know what is best. Imagine freedom in a different way. So right now, for a moment, if you're not driving a car or doing something where this would not be safe, close your eyes. Just close your eyes for a second. Okay? And imagine a situation. It could be a situation that you are in, have been in, might be in, or that someone you know may be in. And I want you to, just for a second, just for a few moments, allow yourself to be facilitating a healing for that person. That could be in any way. That could be through reconnective healing. That could be through energy healing techniques. And that could simply be by opening your heart up and feeling the oneness with that person or with yourself and everyone and everything. Okay? But in that space, just open to that space for a moment. Be there without direction. Allow yourself to recognize yourself as love, to being one with everyone and everything. Just breathe with that. No focus on specific outcome. Let's take 30 seconds with that. Breathe and be. Great. Now, visualize or picture, imagine, whatever word you want to use, that you would like to be somehow or other facilitating, participating in, simply by being, a healing for someone, and bring to mind the result that they want to have, that you want them to have, that you think is best. And I want you to focus on that intention. Think of that person, think of that situation. And I want you to come up with one, and just one. For this exercise today, just pick one. Maybe you do have 3 that are really important, or 6. Just one right now, because guess what? you get to do this again later if you want, okay? Pick one, intend the result that you want to see or that you want to see for them or for yourself, and be there right now. Keep that result in mind. Keep that intention, that intended outcome of the healing in mind. Even if you don't feel you know how to facilitate a healing, just be open in your heart to that person, to that situation, to yourself. Pay attention to the focus, the effort you have to maintain an intention. Now let's say that intended result is achieved. What part of you feels happy? Is it your infinite being? Or is it more likely your personality? There are many words for the personality. Some people use ego, some people use personality, some people use others. If you get your desired intended result, what part of you is happy? And can you rest once that seemingly intended result is achieved? Or do you immediately want to move on to the next situation to try to get another intended result? When you get an intended result, body balance, is it really your heart that is happy? Or is it your personality, your ego, your mind that is happy? Now, explore that result for a moment that you or someone has achieved. Imagine a situation where that result is achieved. It's desired, it's achieved, but it may not be optimal for that person. If you can think of an example of that, that you received an intended result, but it may not be optimal for yourself or for that person. Please input that into the comments right now. Just give me an example of achieving a desired, intended result in a healing situation or any situation that may actually not be optimal for you or that person. It seems that way when we intend it, but it might not be. It might not be even in the larger picture. It may be that a symptom goes away where they end up no longer feeling the need to keep a visit at a doctor's office or somewhere where they may have met a person that may be the person of their life or the person that gives them children. Yogvila says, the heart feels incomplete. Absolutely. When we focus so hard on intending a result, we rule out the potential for the unanticipated that comes from infinite intelligence that sees more than our thinking mind can conceive of. Our personality, our ego becomes happy because we've got what we think that we want. How many of you have achieved what you thought that you wanted and found out later that it was something else? Might have been dating one person and you find out years later that really there was someone else that was right for you and you didn't get to meet them or had to put them off for all this time because you were in that situation. There are infinite situations where we intend for one symptom to change, and yet it may or may not be in the highest interest of everyone involved. Okay, so we've just been experiencing sitting there with an intended result, facilitating a healing, being part of a healing, intending a result, maybe getting, maybe not, maybe intention, maybe being happy with it, maybe not. But here's what I want you to do right now. Let's go back. Can be the very same person. Can be whether it's a healing for you, self-healing, could be a healing for another person. Could be a different person. And I want you to allow yourself to simply be presence, simply be love, simply be observation. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, safely, if you're not driving a bus or whatever. And experience the willingness to be the healing, to facilitate the healing by not doing anything. No steps, no procedures, no amulets, no holy water, no incantations, no burning of the incense, no thoughts of protection or fears. Just allow, because there's nothing to fear, just allow yourself to be present, light, love, and be in observation right now of the healing process, including your experience of the healing process. Anytime you find yourself thinking about the result that you want for yourself or for that person, say, oh, that's not part of this exercise. Right now I am just healing itself. I'm not the healer. I'm not the healee. I'm not telling God, love of the universe, what to do. I am just immersed in the presence of healing. Let's do this for the next 30, 45 seconds. Here we go. comment or just say yes or whatever you want in the comment box, or say, express what you'd like to. How many of you feel more freedom when we're not intending or directing the healing result? You can just say me, yes, 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 or express your thoughts. Donna says bliss. What do you experience when you're not locked into intention? Because when you're not locked into intention, what's the first thing? There is not. The first thing that disappears, is fear of failure, because you recognize you can't fail. Failure is not an aspect of healing. It's only a human belief system that comes from us wondering whether or not we're enough. And let's face it, simply by virtue of being born onto this planet, you are enough. Patine says infinite potential. Get a lot of me toos, me toos. A Kakan's photo, if I've said that anywhere near right, says, true, I felt that freedom, absolutely detached. That's interesting. John expresses it by sewn together with love. We're one. We're one. We can't separate in the first place. We are one. Louis said, I keep myself totally aside and out of the frequencies. Took a long time not to interfere and just to accept. And you know what, Louis? You can't keep yourself out of the frequencies. They are you, and you are them. We are one. Freedom is healing. If we understand that love is freedom, not love that makes us think we need to control and direct and protect, but I mean true, open love is freedom. When you're in love, there's no separation, there's no otherness, there's no need to control. Freedom is another way of expressing healing. And when we are not in freedom, we are not in healing. We're not facilitating healing. We're trying, we're efforting, we're working, and anything that requires effort has a limited shelf life. Okay? A limited shelf life. Accept. Good. Louis says just accept and detach from the process. This is healing. What part of us struggles against this? The personality/ego that wants to be the healer. I am the healer. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I know what's best. What if we let go? What if we're not? What if we release the investment in being right, in bringing about the desired outcome, in bringing in more and more people to really try and push and focus on a specific outcome, result, intention? What if we let all of that go? All of the facade, all of what isn't us, the only thing that stands in presence is you. I am. Not I am trying, not I am trying to heal, not I am trying to fix this, not I'm trying. Just I am. Say to yourself, I want this result. Okay? Just say, I want this result. You don't even have to know what result. I want this result. I am going to achieve this result. Say it. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say to yourself, I am going to achieve my intended result. Notice the intensity, the attachment. Notice how that feels. Okay, take another breath in. Let it go. and say to yourself only these two words. Ready? I am. See yourself in that healing situation, receiving a healing, facilitating a healing, being the healing, and say, I am. I am. What happened to the effort? How many of you notice that all the effort of attempting to bring about a specific healing has dissolved, and there is simply being, presence, and love? Did you notice that? You can just punch yes in if you want to the comments. I am has no borders, no boundaries, no edges, no attachments, no fear of failure. Because in I am, you just are. There is no failure. There's nothing to fail at. There's nothing to achieve. You already are. I am. And in your recognition of I am, you are a light for others to see that they are. That things we're looking to receive healings from are externals. They limit us from recognizing ourselves. They obscure our ability to see ourselves. The doing is gone, right? I feel acceptance, right? No vested interest, motive, or agenda, correct. There is no fear, correct. The doing is gone. The fear is gone. Where did it go? It didn't go anywhere because it was an illusion. The illusion dissipated. The illusion dissolved. You can give away everything because everything is external and an illusion except for one thing. You. I am. You cannot give away too much because you cannot give away I am. This is healing. It's obscured by our doings. As I was listening to a Canadian vicar watching, a church vicar watching a presentation that they gave yesterday. Said, evil spirits, bad thoughts, amulets, incantations, burning the incense, the candles, ringing the bells, let go. Nothing there, nothing to fear. He, in this situation, quoted Jesus, who said, when he was asked to free someone of possession, I think, all Jesus said in that situation, and we're not of any one religion, but this is part of what was talked about yesterday, so we'll use this quote. Jesus said, be silent and come out. Be silent and come out of that person. And he was healed. We don't need holy water, he said. We don't need to be looking for magic. Why is it that we don't need to worry about God being greater than evil? Or because evil is an illusion. Evil is darkness. Light is greater than darkness because darkness does not exist. It isn't. It is just an absence of light. We don't need special ceremonies. We don't need to bring people in today to have group healings or intentions. Sometimes I question, and I'll just throw this out for your consideration, all the beautiful teachings that I know of Jesus. I don't know, I was in some churches over the holidays. A lot of fanfare, a lot of fancy, expensive settings and things going on. I wonder, you ever think about it? I wonder if Jesus was here today in that physical form that he was in a couple thousand years ago and walked into a church watching stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, kneel, we're going to bow to this, we're going to repeat these words, we're going to do the same thing every week, every day, every holiday. I say this, you say that. How do you think he'd feel about all that ceremony? The Jesus that I know of is of the heart. But we all have different ways of expressing this. We all have different ways of recognizing this, of seeing that you are God, that you are love, that you are the universe, that you are not only one with, but you are that. You are not only connected to, because when we connect to something, it means there's two or more. And when we recognize that we are one, that's all there is. There's no longer the need to try to connect. You are that one. So, thank you for sharing this exploration into freedom, into oneness, into healing, into love. Your answer is the right answer. Cryptovia says, this year all my rituals were gone. When you are the healing, you need not ritual or object. You are the healing. You are everyone and everything. You are infinite. What can you add to the infinite to make it more? Nothing. Focusing on making the infinite more, helping it, is simply not recognizing infinite. So thank you for being here for this sharing. Thank you for your willingness to explore. There are no wrong answers. Explore. What your knowingness speaks to you, not what your mind, not what your ego, not what your personality says to you, not what you're desired in wanting to be right or to make it right, but what your knowingness says to you when no one else is listening but you. No fear of making what was done before, or what our families believed in, or what our friends did wrong. Just your knowingness. Your answer, when no one is listening but you, is the right answer. It is. Thank you for being with me today and allowing me to be with you. We will see you again here, same time, same place, next Wednesday, and we will see a lot of you. What is this? Sorry, I have to share this. Cryptogia says, it was not even my wish to do it. It just happened like that. The day everyone is fasting, I said out loud, it's 0012, whatever that time is. Now 0012. Now the fast starts. And the next thing I did was open the chocolate and ate it. Well, nice to know you're human. The frequency is changing the rituals to no rituals. That's true. Anyway, we hope to see a lot of you in approximately 28.5 minutes for Solomon, the Solomon Speaks gathering. That will be on Zoom, and I'm sure it's been input into this chat. If you need to go look for it, go to the reconnection.com or reconnectiveacademy.com, scroll down the main page, and you'll find RLC. RLC stands for Reconnective Life Community, and you'll find the link for Solomon Speaks, but it's right here in the chat somewhere, okay? Thank you much. Lots of love. See you now in about 27 minutes and 25 seconds. Bye.